So, thought I'd show how I got this fiber metal hard hat to attach to this Miller Elite helmet. You could probably do the same thing with like a similar hood, like a a Lincoln Viking, but can't say 100% if that'll work or not, but I'll go with this one for now. So what you're going to need in order to pull this off, you're going to need a old fiber metal welding hood as a donor for two main pieces. First one being this stopper piece, and also you're going to need to cut out the square holes that are on the fiber metal hood. I'll show you why. So on these Miller hoods, the square hole is too big for the square peg that comes with the fiber metal hoods. So what I added in was this square piece here, which takes up the slack there. See, otherwise this square peg will rotate 360 degrees in there, which you don't want. You want it to be nice and tight without any slop. And so all you have to do is on the fiber metal hood, you just cut this piece out here like that. Then you take that piece, you put it in behind this hood, and you line up that square hole, the smaller one that's on that piece. Get it lined up so it's centered and the sides are parallel and everything. And then you just take a Sharpie, trace out the bigger hole around it, and then you can use probably a utility knife. I used a zip cut, whatever you have available. The other thing, I've been using these aluminum ones, these aluminum square pegs from 3 Mirrors, I think is a company called. I'll leave a link in the description to where I got them from. They're aluminum, so they're still lightweight, but they're obviously a lot more durable than the standard plastic ones that fiber metal gives you, because I find just they strip out. So, yeah, that all just fits in there. Also, I put in a 1/4-inch lock washer, because I find that these clover style lock washers that fiber metal gives you, they just don't do a good enough job of acting as a lock washer, and this knob will just keep loosening off on you. So I find that it just doesn't loosen off when you put in a lock washer. So I use both of them together, and it's a non-issue. I just fit that all in. So yeah, cut those square pieces first, and then get this all assembled. And then, in order to determine where you're going to have this peg that goes for the hole on this stopper for adjustment, all you have to do is put on the hard hat, and then get these connectors locked in, which I'll do now. And then you just put it on, put the helmet, the hood down as far as you want it to go, and then you push that black stopper up against the lobe on this receiver, and then just remove the hard hat and remove it from the hood while keeping this position in place. And then just take a drill, so once you've got that, and then you just drill a hole where you want it. And then for the peg, I just used like a rivet from a riveting gun. There's probably a few other options out there. You could Also take that little peg that's from the fiber metal hood, if you have a drill bit that's the correct size, but you'd have to pretty much have a drill bit kit, which you can get them cheap, and you can play around with that too. That's an option. Or if you got a bolt and a nut maybe that was small enough, that would work too, maybe. If you had like a little lock washer on that nut to keep it from coming off, that'd probably work fine too. Whatever it is you want to do. The other thing that I changed from my original version, I got a new hood. The newer Miller Elite hoods, they're a bit wider than the older versions that came out. So, like, what I noticed is that with the older ones, this would just get stretched like this in order to fit over. But because these ones are wider, it's pretty much already the right size. So it doesn't really stretch the hood much at all. Not that big of a deal, it just looks kind of funny when it's all stretched out. And it is a bit close when you have it on, so I'll put it back on and show you. I don't know if you can see that all that well. So it's a bit close, which actually is a good thing because the hard hat does come into the top of the viewing area a little bit, but because it's so close you don't really notice. So there's no real loss of visibility. So that'll be one of the differences you'll notice. The other thing being, because it's so close, if you wear a half mask respirator, this part here will catch on the rubber face piece a little bit, so you kind of have to push in the rubber face piece a bit to get this to fully slide over. So you're not going to go to, drop your head down and get it to slide over like you usually would. You just kind of have to guide it over a little bit. Minor detail, not that big a deal, but it does work. There you go.